According to a Gallup poll from 2022, journalists are one of the least trusted professions, right behind car salespeople, telemarketers, and members of Congress. However, you probably didn't need a poll to tell you that people don't trust journalists and that they even dislike journalists, and that journalists have done a great job at earning this reputation for themselves through their own actions. That takes us to Rolling Stone magazine and an article that they published there just the other day on July 23rd, 2024. If you've been following along with the Kris Tyson situation, then you might notice something rather odd with this article. The headline and the subtext seem to ignore the evidence that's come out about Tyson's behavior towards minors and instead attempts to paint Tyson out as the victim. Now, to be fair, more evidence has come out about Tyson since that article was published. However, even back on the 23rd, there was certainly enough evidence for that headline to be clearly irresponsible and misleading. It seems like the journalist who wrote that article was intentionally trying to use their position to manipulate a very specific narrative. However, this would backfire immensely for Rolling Stone, as people on the internet weren't having it. They were swiftly flooded with critical responses, and you can see a few examples of that right here. Eventually, Mattering, the journalist responsible for that article, would change the headline and add an edit notation at the end of the article. However, the notation only mentions how the story was updated to include comments by Mr. Beast, and says absolutely nothing about the title change. This makes it look like an attempt to brush the change under the rug, making Mattering look even worse. Although in my opinion, there was already no question that Mattering's actions were intentionally manipulative. But it doesn't end there. Mattering's apparent attempt at defending Tyson has still only aged worse in a mere few days, as Lava.js released another statement just this morning. This statement discussing inappropriate actions that Tyson had taken with underage people in Discord. Perhaps Mattering will make another article attempting to spin this news a certain way too. However, it does seem more likely that Mattering will instead try and fade back out of the public spotlight. Let me know what you think about the actions of this journalist and the Tyson situation overall. And if you enjoyed my coverage, please consider liking and subscribing. As always, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.